There's something people still argue about when it comes to Tupac, not just his music, not even the East Coast-West Coast war. Something deeper, because the music industry has never had a problem selling controversy. They package violence, they sell rebellion, it makes billions. So why did Tupac start to feel different? Why did the Vice President of the United States publicly attack his first album? Biggie became a superstar, Tupac became a target. And near the end of this video, I'm going to show you the exact moment Tupac stopped playing their game and started writing his own ending. By the early 90s, hip-hop was officially big business. Major labels, MTV, radio rotation. At the center were two giants, Tupac Shakur and Christopher Wallace, the notorious B.I.G. On the surface, similar, young, gifted, charismatic, both capable of dominating the Billboard charts. But the difference wasn't in the flow, it was in the origin story. Biggie grew up in Brooklyn. His music was cinematic, stories about hustling, survival, the climb from ashy to classy. It was the American dream, remixed. Tupac's foundation was different. His mother, Afeni Shakur, was a leader in the Black Panther Party. She was facing 300 years in prison while she was pregnant with him. Tupac didn't just learn about the streets. He learned about systems, police tactics, political surveillance, systemic oppression. Biggie was observing the world to succeed in it. Tupac was trained to question it. In 1994, Biggie released Ready to Die. It was a masterpiece, polished, radio-friendly, managed perfectly by Sean Puffy Combs to fit the market. Tupac was platinum too. He had the movie roles, juice, poetic justice. He had the fame. But while Biggie played the game, Tupac was breaking the rules. In 1992, Vice President Dan Quayle demanded that Tupac's debut, Tupacalypse Now, be withdrawn from stores. He said, "There is no reason for a record like this to be released." Why? Because Tupac wasn't just rapping about violence. He was explaining why it happened and pointing the finger back at the state. And there is a specific shift in 1995 that proves the industry couldn't handle him anymore. I'll get to that in a second. Because when an artist moves from entertainment to leadership, the target on their back gets bigger. The industry loves a bad boy, but they want a bad boy they can manage. Biggie's narrative stayed on the record. Tupac's narrative spilled into real life. In 1993, he shot two off-duty police officers in Atlanta who were harassing a black man. The officers were later found to be intoxicated and using an unauthorized weapon. The charges against Tupac were dropped, but the message was clear. This wasn't a persona. He wasn't afraid of the uniform. Biggie separated the business from the personal. Tupac didn't have an off switch, and that leads us to the breaking point. November 1994, Quad Studios. Tupac gets shot 5 times. He survives. He goes to prison for sexual abuse charges, denying the crime until his death, while being acquitted of the most serious sodomy and weapons counts. And this is where the shift happens. Most people think Tupac just got angrier after prison. But look at the facts. While in Clinton Correctional Facility, he read Machiavelli's The Prince. He studied war strategy and political philosophy. When he bailed out in October 1995, he didn't just sign with Death Row Records. He signed a contract that would cement his legacy and his fate. In just 2 weeks, he recorded the bulk of All Eyes on Me, the first major label double album in rap history. Why the rush? Because he wasn't making music for the charts anymore. He was documenting his life before it was too late. Biggie was planning for a long career. Tupac was planning for a legacy. Biggie represented technical perfection, flow, storytelling, the king of New York. He fit the machinery of the music business perfectly. Tupac represented raw conviction. He attacked Dr. Dre. He attacked Jay-Z. He attacked the labels. He was burning bridges because he felt betrayed by the industry he helped build. Not better, not worse, just different. One was playing to win. The other was playing for keeps. And that brings us back to the question I asked at the start. What was the moment everything changed? It wasn't the shooting in Vegas. It wasn't even the East Coast beef. The moment everything changed was captured in his 1994 interview, even before the prison sentence. Tupac realized the industry could own his masters, but they couldn't own his impact. He accepted his role not just as a rapper, but as a catalyst. He looked at the camera and said,
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world, and that's our job.
That was the shift. Biggie wanted the throne, Tupac wanted the revolution, and the industry knows how to replace a king. But they have no idea what to do with a spark. That's why, 30 years later, we're still talking about him.